The Maharaja Mac, born from the American dream of big burgers, but with a sprinkling of Indian flavor to suit our taste. And this, the facelifted MG Hector, is exactly like that.
The Hector isn't new anymore. I've seen it, you've seen it, you've probably even driven it, and so you already know this isn't a driver's car. And it's not pretending to be.
Ever since the start, the Hector has played strong on three pillars: size, features and bling. And since the size hasn't changed, it's the last two that have gotten a big update in this facelift. So let's start with the features, and as you notice from here, the Internet Inside badge has gone outside and in comes ADAS.
There's 11 features that make up the Hector suite of Level 2 autonomy, and the ones that you're interested in are adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, traffic jam assist, and automatic emergency braking.
Now the one I'm most interested in is traffic jam assist, so let's talk about that first. Traffic jam assist essentially clubs adaptive cruise control, so your throttle and brake, and lane keep assist, which takes care of your steering but does so at very slow speeds. Sounds perfect for India, no?
MG says it has tested this feature in India extensively, but it's still not perfect. The brake application can be a little jerky with a loud ABS noise in the cabin. But the throttle application is smooth even in stop-start traffic, and you never get the sense that you're gonna rear-end the car ahead. Plus, if the lanes are marked well, the system can also steer for you.
Now, of all the ADAS features here, I think it's traffic jam assist that most of you will use most often, and the other ADAS features are actually a little less perfect. So lane keep assist is supposed to steer for you when the lanes are well marked, but the lanes have to be really well marked for the system to work, and even then it tends to disengage randomly. On the other hand, you have adaptive cruise control that can keep you a safe distance from the car ahead no matter the cruise control speed you set. And if a car were to enter into your lane suddenly, which happens in India pretty often, it automatically lowers the speed.
In some of our trial runs for the system though, the car braked way too late and at times even failed to brake. Another nuance of the system is that it can't spot vehicles, especially two-wheelers that are very near to you but off-center towards the edges of the car.
And to be very honest, driving through Pune in the last 2 days, I can tell you this system is not meant for the city. But I can excuse it for that. Even Tesla's full self-driving is said to make errors in urban environments. And this system is very useful on the highway. And since India has some spectacular highways now, you really can use it to take out some of the stress of long-haul driving.
Also cutting the stress is the safety side of MG's ADAS features. It's meant to brake if pedestrians suddenly cross your path or if there's an imminent crash with a vehicle ahead. It dips your high beam to stop you from blinding oncoming traffic, and it warns you if you change lanes without indicating.
Now, speaking of not indicating, the Hector also has auto turn indicators, which, they turn on automatically when you turn the steering. But there's a small catch here. You're supposed to indicate before you turn, and this system obviously does so after or while you're turning. And that means this is not a way for you to forget using your indicators. It's more for people who have forgotten to turn them on.
But when you're parking or making three-point turns in intense traffic situations, or even driving through a hilly section of road, the continuous blinkers going off can get a little annoying. They are smart enough to adjust the required steering angle based on the speed, but they don't work when you're making smooth highway lane changes. which I would have thought is the perfect application for them. Be jerky enough though, and yes, you can get them to turn on.
If you're watching PowerDrift, I'm gonna assume you like cars or motorcycles and have more than a passing interest in driving. So then some of these safety nets, at least at their early stage like they are today, might not seem that useful to you. But as a fellow road user, you've no doubt been blinded by someone refusing to dip their beam, been endangered by someone who's not indicated before turning, or faced beginner drivers, older people, or even experienced drivers making errors in judgment.
So, whether you like the Hector or you don't, or even whether the ADAS system is as perfect as a fresh hot batch of French fries, the fact that it is one of the most affordable mass market cars trying to make our roads a safer place for you and me cannot be ignored.
The MG Hector is also the only mass market car in India with a 14-inch portrait touchscreen. Bright, it is. Colorful, it is. But responsive, it isn't. Boot times are long when you first start the car during the day. The touch lag is prominent when you're doing something like quickly scrolling through the maps. And you often have to touch icons 2 or 3 times to hit them.
The menu layout is also a little confusing, and yes, it is a 2 or 3 step process to access the air conditioning menu, but
you can't deny the wow factor of this screen. In an age where screen size is king with every device and an era where our cars are more device-like than ever before, the MG Hector is hitting the home run when it comes to the feature list.
MG has even thrown in quirky stuff like a group navigation mode to track the location of your convoy buddies when you're going for a road trip. There's also a digital key which allows you to essentially use only your smartphone to lock, unlock, and even drive around. And there's a lot more.
A lot more, but I'm sure you don't have a lot more time, so let's talk styling. I'm going to tell you what's changed and you tell me in the comments below whether you like it or not. Number 1 is a much larger grille. Number 2 and 3 are updates to the front bumper and redesigned headlights. Number 4 and 5 are new taillights with a light bar connecting them and a new rear bumper. The number I'd give it is a 5 on 10. This styling is not my vibe, but it could be yours. I'm no one to judge.
It's a solid 7 on 10 in the driving department though. Surprisingly good ride quality with an underlying robustness that gives it an SUV feel. Good NVH levels too, and the 1.5 litre turbo petrol with the CVT has acceptable performance. But the Hector still feels like a Maharaja Max sized SUV when you're driving, and it's not a very good handler.
Like I said earlier, this is not a driving enthusiast car. And at a starting price of rupees 14.7 lakh going up to 21.7 lakh, of course there's also the Plus with 6 or 7 seats that goes up to 22.4 lakh. It has stiff competition in the name of the Creta, the Seltos and the XUV 700. All three of them certainly drive better. But if you're looking for space, for comfort, for the most amount of features, there's very few cars that match the bang for your buck that the Hector offers. I'm your host Karan Singh. Thank you for watching PowerDrift and let me know in the comments below what you think about the MG Hector.